I've been thinking about why um, this sort of shifting pendulum of the generation either showcasing their intelligence or trying to mask and disguise and hide it. There's something of a shifting over to like where you don't lead on that you're observant if you want to be if you want to export your own society, brand of society, and you want to be, keep up like socially, you don't lead on that you have competence, and you don't lead on that you're observant. That almost seems like a cosmetic ruse or something, but in a way, it started out like you don't want to make something worse. So the only reason that you're not pointing things out is because you don't know what the proper response to is. Then you don't want to make you don't want to make them worse. So that makes sense. Then, like, I don't know, every 20 years or so, it will go back to the opposite. So, like, I just talked about masking intelligence and competency and awareness, and then now we're showing we're unabashedly we're not covering it up. It's not cool anymore to be a stupid, right? And but what happened, what turned out to be stupid is superimposing moralism on someone who couldn't have been expected to process it properly, because maybe there's something messed up about them or something happened to them. Or I'll give you an example, like even with grown-ups, right? And so you have one parent who worries constantly about whenever their child is in someone else's care, whenever their child is on a school trip or foreign exchange or anywhere that they go, they just worry about any and every little thing. Dude, knock on wood, almost all the time. They just, until they see them again, can verify that they're okay, that they're still safe, happy, everything. All they worry. It's not in their personality to be a worry wart about a bunch of superficialities, like a bunch of, you know. And then there's the other there are other type of parents who their kids can pick up on that they don't care, okay? And you'll be like, I wonder, do you think you could tell the difference? And you can't always tell the difference until something like, until it's like this one parent said something about a recall of baby cribs because the space in between the bars was just big enough for the kid to pop their head through, but they weren't able to pull their head back, so they would get strangulated, asphyxiated, or something. And this other parent was like, yeah, well, we take out the insurance policy, so if that or something like that ever happens like that, then we're gonna get paid millions. Like, I'm pretty confident in our insurance policy. So basically, he never should have said nothing. He'd have been better if he just didn't ever speak. And then it became apparent that, oh, that's one of those kind of parents, like, like those, who you wonder who the parents are of people that's like wearing I don't know, like a TNA model, underage, 14, 13, 14, 15. So the only people that you're supposed to be broadcasting, advertising sexuality to would be somebody who's probably only best served by staying focused. They haven't built a life or anything to offer to anyone to keep things going. So they basically have nothing supportive. Then you're just distracting them. But I mean, what are you gonna do? Tell them? That's superimposing your morality, and they might fuck them up even worse. If you don't say anything, things might stratify. It'll come back to some more semblance, when they when the advocate of their spirituality actually comes out, whether it comes out of them or someone else. So because you can't imagine that or something, you can't imagine that, then you might want to say like, oh, wonder whose parents those are. Like, shame on you, but you can't tell what they look like. So it's like, you would think it was the one with the Down syndrome over there, or something. But then, okay, like, let's say Starbucks or something, and they grab coffee and they go back, and then you see who the real parents are, and I'm like, well, those are like normal, blue collar, like middle class, like. And they probably let them stay out late and fucking spend and do sleepovers without talking to the parents and all kind of shit. The sugar cereal, like the cereal and the shit with the fucking, they probably let them eat all the crap food and everything junk and all the gimmicky shit that you weren't allowed to have. It didn't make sense because it seemed like your parents wanted to ruin their fun when they didn't let you have that shit. But they didn't let you have it because it was gimmick. And they know it was gimmick, and now that you're grown, you can't help but know that it's gimmick too. So are you willing to, have, your kids be a little bit, mad, because you're not letting them have fruit roll-ups and everything, all sugar included in their lunch, breakfast, and then still have dessert and everything. So it's like you're just giving them you're just giving them spoons full of sugar all day long, and high fructose, of course. Or maybe it's because they are polarized by a version of moralism, that they think that their kids are going to be lazy if they don't wake them up 6 or 7 in the morning. Like, well, an adult, you're pretty much, your clock is set to go off and wake you up at 6 or 7. And then they're still, like, you're out of your grogginess and you're alert, like around 8 or 9. And then the kids are like still groggy and out of it until like 9 or 10. So it's just like, you don't want to let them sleep in an extra hour because they'll be lazy. No, probably it's impossible because you both leave the house at the same time to go start your day. Just say that, like, I think like you'll become a master of logic and common sense, and that will be a problem because you can just have a little common sense, and that is rare. So for someone who masters logic, then you have a problem. And it's that way every time. When someone masters logic, then they can't process new information. And the thing is, it's coming along with all of the other gimmicky shit. So there will be a bunch of gimmicky shit, and there'll be something in there that makes sense, and you have to go in and you ferret it out, and you find out, and then you come back, and then somebody's there to, like, say, you're doing it wrong. And you could be like, do you fuck off? You know what I mean? It's amazing because people that get stuck in those cults and everything, and their cult is some elder who's just a gimmicky scammer that found a way to assure the congregation that they won't be cut off, and that they will, when Christ returns and separates the evil men from the good men. Of course they're going to tell you that, because you wouldn't fucking go against what they have to say, and they have the ability to separate themselves from feeling like they have the ability to not feel bad about what they're doing, like an identity scammer or something. You have your own reason for why you have to do it, and that helps you get past the damage and the karma and everything, so you can do it. And then, if you're talking about when the Christ is coming back to cut evil off from the good, When are you going to cut off all of these scamming fucking elders that superimpose their sense of moralism, and they do it in the Jehovah Witnesses, because I hear every time, like stories every time about something like, having two reasons for you not to do it, and instead of the one reason, like jumping on the bed. Okay, stop jumping on the bed, because the bed's gonna slide a little bit, or you're gonna move out the way, or you're gonna bounce out of control and you're gonna hit the corner of the nightstand. You're gonna hit something. You're gonna knock out an eye, or something. You're gonna knock your teeth out. That's the reason why you don't jump on the bed. But they say like it's fraternizing or something. Like they'll say some extra shit, and you're like, "What the fuck? That's you. That's what you're not supposed to do." Because that would be, don't put that on them. Because then they're gonna be confused later why you told them not to do certain things. Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses. Anyways, how are you more innocent? How are we more innocent than they are? You're just extra assuming. You're more assuming. As you became less innocent, you became more assuming. That's why they call it innocent and unassuming, because then we know what you were talking about. Fraternizing, isn't that what they're just doing when they? Anyway, that's their fraternity. That means like, sorority, fraternity. That's the next thing. In a structured sodality, like in the sodality of it. That's the stuff. So it's just weird how you can't tell and how normal someone looks until something you notice. Then you can't say because you don't want to fuck them up even worse. Even the grown-ups. I didn't even want to fuck up the grown-ups even worse by pointing out certain shit. Because they didn't stop growing. At some point in time, they stopped. So if that's, maybe it's just around the corner for them to start to ascertain, or something priority-wise, fucking what's more important for you to keep in what is considered to be risk or limbo or potential losses or something. Like, what can you afford to take a loss? Because you wouldn't want something to happen to your child where you come into millions of dollars and they're not there to share it with you. Like, fuck, what? That's so you don't have no worries, because I mean, he probably doesn't really think that way. He probably doesn't even feel that way. It's only because he mastered logic and common sense that he knows the answer quick and witty before anybody else, and then he never should have said anything. Then he never should have talked.